Good evening and welcome to the Randell Fisher Show. I am your host, Randell Fisher.
And I'm your co-host, Patrice Fisher.
Tonight we have an awesome show tonight. We have a special guest on tonight. We have Brother Kenny Sway here, recording artist Kenny Sway here tonight. And we're going to be interviewing him shortly. And we're just going to talk to some people who are still dreaming out there. Talk to some people who are poets. Maybe you're a musician. Oh, we have a caller on the line already. Caller, you're on the line. Hi. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
I'm sorry. I thought this is Sharon. I thought this was I'm sorry. Maybe I thought it was
You have the wrong number?
Yes.
That's okay. This is the Randell Fisher Show, and we're glad that you called in.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. This is supposed to call this.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Ask questions on it. I thought I was just to listen in for prayer and I'm sorry. I'm wrong number.
That's okay. Have a blessed night.
It's okay.
Well, at least we did have somebody call in. That's exciting. That's the first time that has happened before we got the intro that somebody has called in. Tonight we have a dynamite show tonight. We're going to talk to a young man who has a very, very great talent. And he's on the rise up. So we're glad about it tonight. So tonight, if you're interested in asking some questions about how to get started, being an entertainer, or if you have a dream, whether you want to be a poet, or a writer, or dancer, or singer, or a musician, give us a call at 240-719-2560.
Yes. Okay.
Talk to me.
All right. So tonight is going to be excited because the actual artist that we have coming in, we know him. And I think we've known him for well over 10 years.
Okay.
He's very gifted. So a young man, again, millennials, they are powerful. They are talented. And we need the world to know. We need the community to know who is gifted within our community. And how can we allow them to have a platform to speak and say who they are and what they represent and the purpose that they have on this earth. You know, you were created for a purpose.
Is that right?
That's right.
Well, my wife said we were all created for a purpose. I believe that. I know God has created us for a purpose. So I like to always say on the onset of the show, we are not life coaches. We're just people with life experiences.
Right.
We do believe in Jesus Christ. And we hope that somehow at the end of the night that somebody will call in and want to get to know Jesus.
Yes.
And that's what we do. But we still, if you don't want to get to know Jesus tonight, we still want you to call in and talk to us about your dreams. So right now we're going to get ready to go into a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have our guest with us on tonight, Brother Kenny Sway.
Yes.
If love is true.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip. That was a clip
Yes.
from Brother Kenny performing. I'll tell you, we're just going to have a jazzy night tonight.
Yes.
And we're just going to just be free and just talk about Kenny, about some things that's going on with him. So, Brother Kenny, tell us what's going on with you, sir.
One, God is good.
All right.
Second, I mean, just a whole lot right now. Just, you know, I mean, it's just a whole lot. It's kind of like, it's hard to kind of explain because, you know, it's just so much positivity and so much stuff that's going on right now in my career.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to whatever God has for me.
Okay.
You know.
So what's the what is going on positive? What's the last thing that you've done? Yeah, tell us about the last thing you've done.
I mean,
recently.
you know, just touching stages like, you know, Baltimore. I opened up for Drew Hill
Yes.
last Sunday.
Yes.
Was it Sunday or Saturday?
Okay.
And that was sold out crowd. It was very amazing, very humbling, but filled with like humility. So you know, it was a great experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did it feel like? One of the questions I wanted to ask, since you touched on you opening up for Drew Hill last week, and what did it feel like to be able to get to that place? I know that there are pinnacles in your life. There are places where you're building, and of course you have a dream. But what did it feel like to be in that place at that time?
I knew it was at some time it was gonna happen.
Okay.
So being in that place, in that, you know, in that space, it made me realize how much I want to do it more. And how I never want to stop doing it. And you know, it's just being on stage is just all I really know. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I'm here. But it was more so like, yo, I can get used to this.
Okay.
It's almost like it's almost like you were saying that you belong here. I'm finally
Right.
here, and this is where I belong.
Yes.
You know, we have those moments in life where we're doing something, and all of a sudden it just clicks in. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think that, well, you know, how do you feel? What happened? What made you? When you get here, you actually know this is what I really want to do. Can you tell us about your family? Tell us about your family.
I mean, you know, 3 brothers, 1 sister, single mother. We grew up in a musical household, singing, dancing, playwriting,
Yes.
a lot of that. And, you know, I'm just one of those ones that's just taking it, you know, to the next level. You know, I'm just kind of that, you know, that golden ticket in a way.
Okay.
But, you know, just to, so I can get there, so I can bring anybody I need to bring with me once I get there.
So let me ask you, what in your music, right? What kind of people are you trying to attract with your music?
The world.
And bring it in for people that maybe can't think that big. kind of zoom it in for us a little bit.
Well, it's I'm trying to touch anybody that want to be touched.
Okay, that's good. Any nationality, it does not matter.
Anyone that wants to be touched and that wants to feel my music like I feel it.
Okay.
That's the people I want to, you know, reach.
So let me rephrase the question. What does your music do for you?
That's good.
Yo, it's therapy.
Okay.
That's good.
In what way?
In a lot of ways. I write about, I get therapy out of other people.
Okay.
Because people tell me their situations or what they're going through, and I go write about it.
Okay.
So it's like one of those situations where if you have a song, but you can't sing, but you like, I really want to get this song out, or this is my idea, and I come to you, hey, look, let me write this song for you, or let me sing this song for you the way you wrote it, just so it can be a connection like no other.
Okay.
Like one of those, you know, good connection type of songs. Like, you know, I'm a world writer, and you know, I don't write songs. I don't sing songs because I think they sound good. I sing them because it's what the world needs at this moment.
That's good.
But at the end of the day, you do want your music to sound good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you want your music to sound good. Yes, you want your music to sound good. I like your music. I think it's relaxing.
Yes, it is.
I've heard you do other songs, but it doesn't seem like you're mimicking the artists. It's something like you're really trying to get what it is that they put out. And so tell me something. If I'm not mistaken, I know you did some singing at the Metro.
Yeah.
How did that start for you?
Mm-hmm. So we got time, right?
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
So one day I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was working a job.
Okay.
And before this, I had plenty of jobs. I mean, just average people like have jobs. So had a job. It was this one particular job. I'm not gonna name it. And I was off on a Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
And just say it was one of those situations where my boss at the time wanted me to come to work on Martin Luther King's birthday.
Okay.
And that landed on a Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
I was originally off.
Okay.
So at this time, as far as street performer, I would work, then I'll go try to test out the Metro, stuff like that, make a little money,
Okay.
But when I really realized that street performing is what I was going to do, I walked into work with my keyboard like I normally do.
Okay.
And he said, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, yo, like, I'm here to work." He was like, "No, you don't work here no more." So I grabbed my keyboard and I wrote. And then I went to go street perform and made what I made in 2 weeks and in a day.
Wow.
That's
you
impressive.
See that, for me, I get goosebumps when I'm hearing you talk about that, because obviously, in my opinion, for who I am and for who I know you to be, it appeared that was a divine intervention moment right there.
Wow.
And you didn't have to, God made the decision for you.
Facts.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of us are not that blessed. Sometimes we have to make that decision. We have to make that difficult decision when we know we have a gift and we want to try it out. But you got a break right there. You got a break that God just allowed you to go in and the man say, that's it.
And and it was more, God taking the responsibility, or he had to take what he said he had to take, because he said he was able. He said he was a provider.
Okay.
He said he was going to do all these things for me. So I had to step out on faith and be like, okay, God, if this is for me, this is what you have to do for me in order for this to work.
Wow. Well, if we're listening to Brother Kenny Sway tonight, give us a call at 240-719-2560. And tonight we're talking about people who have dreams. We're talking about people who are going back and forth about whether they should quit their job or whether they should start their own business, whether it be performing or whatever business that you may want to get into. But we want you to know that you still have to pray about it. We're not telling you tonight you just walk off your job. We're saying we want you to pray about it, because those 2 weeks come by real fast, and if your 401k money goes out really fast when you start paying those bills. But if you're really concerned about and you're stuck in that place where I want to do something but I'm afraid, or I don't know how it's going to turn out, give us a call at 240-719-2560.
Since we're discussing the subject, our subject tonight is perseverance in pursuing your dreams. I have seen you at various subway stations. I've heard you at LaFont Plaza. I've heard you at Branch Avenue subway station. I've heard you, I think, on the Green Line, where it was maybe Gallaudet. I'm not sure if I'm naming, but you have been to a lot of major subway stations, including downtown near the Verizon Center. And one thing I love about you is the sound. Your music is authentic. And since we're talking about the gift and the creator that gave you the gift, when did you realize that you were gifted in singing?
When I picked up that mic in kindergarten.
Wow. Wow.
So, and I think I told this story once, but I had a crush on somebody. Somebody else had a crush on her too.
Okay.
And
he had a crush, y'all. I heard that.
I knew in my secret place as a child that I knew how to sing.
Okay.
And I wasn't, at that point I lacked fear. So I wasn't, I wasn't scared to grab a mic. So I asked my teacher, I was like, yo, can I sing real quick?
Wow.
And she said, sure. It was like cafeteria. And then I sung You Are So Beautiful.
Wow.
And that was literally the very first song that I've ever sung. And then first grade came around and I sung Just My Imagination.
Okay.
And then people was like, yo, this first grader singing this song. This is like song from the 70s.
Right. Who would do that? Right.
Right.
And I was sounding good at it. Like I was real good. And then, just pursuing and just starting, just being in talent shows. And, then the church thing came involved and we start, singing in church. And, I just, at that point, nothing could stop me from doing what I knew was best for myself. Okay. I wasn't forced. I wasn't pushed. I wasn't this is something I wanted to do. And I was going to go after it.
I love this. You are the artist, Kenny Sway. And what I love about your music, I love the fact that you feel love. When I was at the Verizon Center, my husband and I, we were going to a concert or a game, basketball game or something. And I remember we were leaving to go to the garage to get our car. And I told my husband, we heard this music and we heard the sound of this wonderful singing. And I knew, because we've known Kenny for years, I knew that it was Kenny because I heard his voice. And the closer we came to him, we saw hundreds of people from different walks of life, different nationalities. And what I observed and what I felt in that environment is love, the spirit of love. I saw people gravitating to the sound, but I saw his heart in projecting the sound. And I thought it was amazing, even though we know him, but to see him at this place of his life, with this gift that has grown over the years and the maturity that comes along with your gift. I've seen you accelerate, but talk to us about the time that it takes to build. Success does not come overnight. And where you are now, it did not come overnight. When we were talking previously, you said that it was years. If you want to speak on that, if you can.
Yeah, I mean, so just, to piggyback on that is, it took years. 5 years, 6 years later, like it takes a while to really reach, the height that I reached as far as street performing. Because
yes.
5 years ago, it was an open, like it was open and nobody was doing it
right
on the level that I was doing it on. So it's like don't get me wrong, you had people before me, and with all due respect, they were good, but the level as far as sound,
yes,
coordination, just being on point. And just having a concert right there, outside with speakers, amps, drums, keys, guitar, and everything being on point. But I had to invest in that too, because my sound wasn't always like that.
Okay.
Wow.
And the money that we would make, we just gradually, hey, look, we're gonna go half on some speakers, or we're gonna go half on a mixer, because I knew exactly what I wanted to sound like when I was out there. Because anybody can take a speaker and a mic and go out there and sing, but to actually have that feel and that real concert feel, I knew what I wanted to hear while I was out there.
Wow.
I knew what I wanted the people to hear while I was out there. So it was very important that the sound was very, very good. And when you say you heard me from a block away, that's because the sound was good.
That's good, Kenny.
So what I hear you saying is that you invested in yourself.
He invested.
And I think a lot of times people want to do something, but they don't realize that you have to invest in yourself.
Good.
And you
That's
just
good.
can't spend all your money right away.
Yeah.
You got to take your money and build your business and invest in yourself. But what I like about what you're saying, for the most part, when you were talking, I was thinking about Michael Jackson, the performer. I want to make that clear. And I remember, if you watch the Jackson show, how they portrayed it, that even at 4 or 5 years old, and his family was singing, he wanted to sing. He kept saying, let me try, and his chance came at a talent show in school. So it's interesting that you mentioned that similar story. But tell me something, what are some of the pitfalls that you faced?
That's good.
As doing street performing? I'm curious about that.
Well, of course I don't share this a lot, but it was a point in time where, this is way before the band and everything. I called myself moving to California.
Okay.
And I was only going to move to California because I was moving based off of what I thought I knew about California. You know, I was making good money street performing
Okay.
here in D.C. in the DMV area. And then I'm like, okay, if I can make this here, I can make more out there because there'd be more, receiving. They would be more receiving. And come to find out, it wasn't what I thought it was.
Okay.
So I had to make a decision, and here I am, like, talking to God again. I'm like, okay, yo, I'm out here. I'm 2,000 some miles away from home, and I don't know nobody out here.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm gonna stay. Like,
Wow.
I'm just out here because based off an idea.
Wow.
Of what I thought it would be like. So it was either I stay there and, you know, say, yo, I'm out here in Cali, you know, doing my thing, or I go back home and strategize.
Okay.
So I was down to like, what, $800. I bought the next plane ticket smoking. I don't care how much it was. I'm like, I got to get home.
Okay.
So, because once that money's gone, because you understand, from making $200 to making $80, and people really not giving as I thought as I thought they were going to give.
Okay.
I was like, no, I can't settle for this. So I came back home, off the plane, January 2016, viral.
Okay.
So
you know, it's important what you're saying, because a lot of people would have just stayed out there and ended up really, you know, pride would have gotten away, and they would have tried to prove themselves that, you know, I can make it, I'm going to do it my way, instead of coming back home and realizing, okay, I do have a place to come back to, right?
Yes.
And I have support.
Yes.
Right. And let me rethink this thing. You understand what I'm saying? So I commend you on doing that, because that takes a lot.
Yes, it does.
That takes a lot. And you didn't wait till you was just absolutely broke, where you had to call somebody to ask them, hey, can you send me a ticket?
Like, I didn't, me traveling, you know, dude, I had to travel ways just to go get a gas generator in California.
Wow.
Just for power, because I knew that's what I was using at home. So I'm like, I'm going to use that same here. But then once I got back, and then I started really strategizing, then we use a car battery to power all of our equipment. And it lasts longer, then I ain't got to worry about dragging gas on the train. Like, literally, I used to carry a gas generator on the train every day.
Wow.
I spent maybe $100 a day to pick me up from my house with all of my junk that I was using. Put it in the cab, go straight to the metro, go do my thing. At the end of the day, come back, get in the cab, just to take me back home. You know how much money that was back in the day with no Uber or nothing?
I can imagine. You know, I'm listening to you tonight, and I want people that's listening to the show tonight, give us a call at 240-719-2560. And what I'm hearing is determination, sacrifice.
Yes.
And tell me something. When you were going through those things, what were some of the down moments in your head that you were having?
It was a point where I was like, well, I don't even really think it was to be no down moments, because I was just so determined to even think about doubt, or to even think about fear, or to think about what's not going to happen, because I was always thinking about what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
You know, so many times the key to success is becoming what you think about.
I like that.
This is interesting.
You become what you think about. So if you want to become this water, be this. You become this because you thought about it. Whoever made this idea of putting water in a plastic bottle, they thought about it first as an idea, and then they made it happen because they thought about that thing. You got to think about this thing all day long in order to be it. I thought of myself. I knew I wasn't going to do nothing else in life.
Oh, wow.
So I think about it, I dream about it, I think about it, I dream about it all day long. So I became what I thought I was going to be. One of my teachers in middle school saw me outside performing, like in front of a game.
Yes.
Extremely cold outside at this point.
Yes.
He came, his name Brother Victoria, shout out to him, because he was like a mentor to me.
Okay.
And, he asked us as 7th graders, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be a singer and a performer.
You knew it.
Let's fast forward a couple years back. He ran into me. He took a picture, and I didn't know what he was going to post. I didn't know if he was going to post it or not. And and he took the picture, and then I got home, looked at Facebook, and he said, this young man right here, in 7th grade, he told me what he wanted to be when he grew up. And he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. So that's becoming what I thought about.
It's interesting that you say that, because the reason I asked that question about the down, because a lot of us quit right in the middle. A lot of us get frustrated. We get depressed about what's going on because things are not going the way that we want them to go. So I feel that we have those moments, but at the end of the day, you still have to continue on, and regardless of how bad it looks.
I think what was keeping me was my faith in God.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean,
you believed.
Yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, if you believe in God, you believe in His word, and you believe that He's going to do what He said He's going to do. So why even have an inch or a pinch of doubt or any type of down moment? It's just all about applying what God is saying to our lives so we can move the way we want to move.
So we're listening to Brother Kenny Sway tonight. Give us a call at 240-719-2560. And we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to show a clip of him that changed his life, literally changed his life from coming back from California. You've heard his story. You heard what he had to do. But what you're going to hear in this next clip is going to really blow your mind. So we're going to play that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Play the clip.
So I go, sing again. But I know I'll think of you every step of the way.
Anybody come get his ask her, that's his sister.
And love you.
money, man.
We just watched the clip. I hope you enjoyed that.
Awesome.
I mean, I've
Awesome.
seen it several times before, but I'm
Awesome.
sitting here and tell me something. I mean, we were talking off set earlier, and I know in the on set you told us about when you were coming back from California. So, and I think you told me about this when you saw her. This was coming to your first viral video of that one. Tell us what happened with that.
So, we just out there a normal day.
Okay.
And, of course, as y'all saw, there was a crowd out there. So, she walks up, and of course we did a few songs before that Whitney Houston song, because we normally have like a set that we do to grab the crowd.
Yes.
So that Whitney Houston song was next, and she just was just full of life and full of energy. Shout out to Evelyn. She was just so full of love, and I'm like, yo, out of everybody in this crowd, I could have, dedicated the song to, but it was just something special about her spirit that kind of drew me in.
Yes.
And it was just one of those situations where like that was like my little sister at that moment.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it was, she really like changed my life, and me being there. And her being there at the right time, it made it all worth it.
So you said she changed your life. How and in what way did she change your life?
Big time. I mean, I'm constantly working now, so I mean, it was good, and just the exposure, and that video reached maybe a little bit over like 36 million people.
Wow,
people were global. That was one of the biggest videos that week.
Wow.
Because of course people go viral all the time, and I literally watched 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. I literally just watched it like just grow, and I was
fantastic.
I was like, yo, this is crazy, wild, crazy dope.
Crazy,
and,
crazy. Yes.
As a child, I always remember, people, how we go to altar call or something like that. They always, everybody used to always, it used to be the same thing, and it's something I always knew that I will reach the masses.
Yes.
And at that moment, I reached the masses, like people everywhere. Like still today, this video go viral all the time. Just this past October, it reached like 5 million in Canada.
My goodness.
So it's like it's a video that will never get old. It's something that
will last.
It will last. Until my daughter gets older.
Okay.
And I went viral with my daughter too. So
did you? Okay.
Yeah. So that.
Okay.
We'll talk about.
We will talk about that.
Yes.
I'm sitting here listening to you and watching the video and listening to your story.
Yes.
Right. So what I want people to kind of catch up with what we're saying. You say you went out to California because you was trying to still pursue your dream. You went out to California. You decided that, hey, I got to come back. You came back within a week. I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
You came back within a week.
Yeah.
You saw that it didn't go the way you wanted it to go. Excuse me. And you did this video. You went from, I mean, it's hard to just gather. You went from, this ain't working, to 30 million people watching me.
Facts.
That is God.
At that moment, I only had maybe like 1,000 people following me on Facebook.
Wow.
At the most.
Wow.
Maybe 2,000 on Instagram. But soon as that video took off, it took completely off. Now, here's a catch, right? So
Okay.
I had got an offer to go to do Showtime at the Apollo.
Okay.
Yes, I remember that.
I went out there.
Okay.
And I'm on Instagram, and my Instagram get hacked. This one I was like 18,000 followers.
Okay.
It get hacked. This is just like evident on how God will forever be amazing. Like
Forever be amazing. I like that.
he like my Instagram got hacked. So now I'm on Facebook letting people know, oh, my Instagram got hacked, bing, bing, bow. So I get back. This is way before my daughter was born.
Okay.
So let's fast forward after the Showtime at the Apollo show, stuff like that. 3 months, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, my daughter was born.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we're gonna fast forward 3 months.
Okay.
I went outside the street perform with my daughter on my chest.
I remember that.
Went super duper viral.
Wow.
So you telling me my Instagram got hacked. I started a new Instagram, and at that moment my Instagram was at 3,000. So this same Instagram when I went viral with my daughter in 2017.
Yes.
I'm at 71,000 followers now. So it went from 18 to 71,000. You know, so it's like I gained more than I lost. You know, just because I was determined to make it happen. You know, I wasn't about to get a job.
You know, I'm listening to you, and what I'm picking out little things that we're talking about, and I'm still kind of focused on the fact that you had to make a decision, and we like to call it in the Christian world, you know, humility. You know, we were humbled at that moment, but you when you made that decision, God had already had a plan for you, what was going to take place. And, oh, man, and just to see. So let me ask you, because a lot of times we say it's the Holy Ghost, you know, because we're from a Christian perspective, and we say it's the Holy Spirit. But what did you feel when that girl walked up to you?
That's good.
When Evelyn, we're not going to say that girl's name is Evelyn.
Yeah.
When she walked up with Down syndrome, what did you feel? What came over you?
It was just, I was in my element already, so you know everybody, as you can see, was already there enjoying themselves. But she had a little more energy than everybody.
Okay.
So and I felt that I'm like, yo, I like this girl. So I was like, you know, as the songs go on, and I mean the other clips and everything is on Facebook and YouTube too, that you can go see it with the other songs with her dancing with me and stuff. Like that.
Wonderful.
So it was an amazing moment. You know, I did not want to turn her away.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I did not want her to pay her attention because she was the only one that walked out and wanted to be in the center of that space. So I'm like, okay, let's share the space together. And, you know, I made it happen. So,
you know, it's ironic. You take someone who's suffering from something, from a disability, and you crash them together with somebody who's suffering from a major setback, and watch how God put it together.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing but a God moment to have somebody who is, it's like almost y'all can feel each other.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying?
If I would have stayed maybe 2 weeks,
you'd have missed that opportunity.
I'd have missed it.
Wow, that's good.
I'd have missed it. So everything was already lining up. You know, and even in California with going through a frustration like, yo, I got to get back home.
Yes.
Right. It was like something was like, yo, buy the next ticket and get home.
Wow.
You know, because right now what you're doing, I didn't tell you to do this.
Oh, I got to stop you because I'm feeling something here, right? Because that's it right there. A lot of times we get ahead of ourselves. I was telling you offset about when my wife and I had started our church, and I know I got ahead of myself in some areas. And at the end of the day, you know, I had to be real with myself and say, well, God didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you to do that move right there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So what you're saying is so real. We're talking tonight to Brother Kenny Sway, and give us a call at 240-719-2560.
Yes.
If you have any questions about what we're talking about tonight.
Call in.
I'm so excited to hear somebody that just didn't give up.
Yes. Absolutely.
So we're talking about people who, you know, we're talking for people who are on the verge of giving up. And you need to hear that maybe you shouldn't give. Maybe you should try one more time. You should step out there one more time. But what he's saying is so important. Re-strategize. Maybe that, you know, I did we had a comedy show at the church the other day, right? And there were some jokes that I had in my mind, but I didn't do because I thought people would be offended. So I kind of tried to stay safe. And because I stayed safe, it didn't really come out the way I thought it would come out.
Then maybe you should have offended those ones.
Yeah. See, so now, yes. So now, you know, next time, you know, I'll come back different, and I'll come back with what I heard God say do, and trust Him.
And that was offend.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you got to be, you know, they was offended when Jesus, you know, messed up the temple.
Right. Okay.
So who?
Oh, this is good.
But you know, more than that, you know, you offend yourself. At the end of the day, because nobody knows that you're actually dealing with that. Nobody knows that you're actually going with that but you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, this is good.
Come on in. I hear you. I feel you.
Yes. So it's important to be yourself. That's what it sounds like to me. It's important to be true to yourself as to who you are. We know you as being on the praise team for years,
right.
But then there's there was a bigger audience, and there's no limit to the avenues or the streams of love that God chooses to operate in. So he does not just choose just one area, meaning just Christians or the Christian world. He loves everybody. So by any means necessary, we have to release that love to everybody.
He said, go out into the world.
So go out into the world, right?
Go out into the world.
What does that look for somebody that really doesn't know what that means? What does that look? Help us from your mind to talk to somebody that's feeling like, I want to go into the world and do this. What does that look like in your experience?
I mean, in my experience, even on, you know, just singing on the street, or what I experienced on the street versus like the crackheads, you know, the people, the drunken people, you know, the people that's dealing with mental illnesses that, you know, like I experienced everything, the whole 9 yards. Like I literally saw firsthand everything, but the humility in me will still embrace them as a human being. As somebody that's been human.
That's good,
Let's
Kenny.
cut out the religion. Let's cut out the church. Let's
That's
cut
good,
out
Kenny.
everything when it comes to the extra stuff as far as being a human being.
That's good, Kenny. Very good.
Like, let's focus on being that human being. Forget about if they smell or if they drunk or if they got attitude. Just embrace who they are as a human being.
Beautiful.
So that's what really kept me going in those moments, and if somebody wants to hop out there. What you scared for?
I love it.
You understand? Like we so focused on, you know, building a church, but you building a church and you don't have anybody there. You know, people not coming because they're not focused. Their focus on not being in a church. They're focused on doing what they need to do in the world, but that's why we have to go out there and reach those people to draw them in.
That's good.
Not to necessarily say, hey, come to my church or come to my church. No,
Understood.
Hey, look, let
yes.
me love you real quick.
That's it.
Like, let me meet you where you at. Let me meet you at your level. You know, hey, where's that crack house? Let's go in there. Let's talk. You know, let's have a human being conversation. What are you going through?
You know, I'm listening to what you're saying.
Love
It's
it.
all relevant, right? The church is
I love
relevant.
it.
The outside ministry is relevant. Our heart is relevant. All is relevant. I think all the Bible says all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to His purposes, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, all of it works, right? We want to let you know all of it works. But I understand what you're saying. We need some more street preachers, if you will. Let me say, and because what you're saying, you have ministry in you because you were raised that way.
But the ministry doesn't really have to necessarily be. I don't have to be a street preacher.
Yeah.
To reach them,
Right.
Because some people
Right.
wants to really talk, like man to man time.
That's
like,
it. That's it.
Like, this is what I'm going through, and how can you help me?
Right.
How can you lift me up from
That's
this place?
right. Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't go out there singing gospel music.
Right.
That's it.
And everybody wasn't around me because I was singing gospel music. Now there's certain segments, if you look online or something,
Yes.
I did have certain performances where I did where it was gospel because that was what the people were asking for, and that particular crowd was a gospel crowd.
That's important.
So it's just about knowing how to adapt to whatever. And any
That's
given
good.
moment, any given time I'm out there and somebody asks you to do gospel, I do one gospel song and then it's we doing it for the rest of the night. Because I can't not like do what I'm doing and then do gospel and then go back to it. Like, no, we going because somebody needed that.
Wow.
At that moment.
And that's basically what I'm saying. See, because, but like I said, you are a believer.
Yeah.
Right? So therefore, I will say again, all things work together. Right? They're still working together.
Yeah.
Right? And there's going to be times where it's going to be gospel or ministry. And
Yeah.
there's going to be times there's going to be straight talk.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be times it's going to be the Jazzy Kitty Sway out there.
That's
So
right.
you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
simple, yeah.
So we have to be available for which time that comes up upon us. So what I like what you're saying is be who you are.
Be who you are.
Authentic. But still maintain that
Foundation.
That foundation.
Oh yeah, the
of
foundation
who you are.
Once you got a foundation,
Love.
the foundation never leaves.
Right.
Yeah.
The people is the ones that leave.
Okay. So let me ask you
Foundation
this.
stay.
Let me ask you this, Brother Kenny. What are some of the pitfalls you could tell somebody that's thinking about doing something that they can kind of look out for?
For one, just become what you think about. You know, tackle whatever you feel like you need to do, and can't nobody make you do nothing that you don't want to do.
Right.
That's good.
You know, my grandfather told me that, and I live for that. Like now, like nobody can make you do nothing that you don't want to do. You know, can't nobody force you. Can't nobody say, yo, if you don't do it this way, this is going to happen. If you don't do it this way, God isn't going to bless you. If you don't do it, like, no, do it the way you feel like you need to do it, but also align it with God. You know what I mean? Align it with faith, because the faith is an important part. It's very important, but if you don't do the work, you're just going to be a person with just faith.
Okay, faith without works is dead.
My point exactly.
So who is your musical mentor? Who is some of the people that you look up to?
That's a good question.
In music.
I just I started listening to Dame Dash on just for a purpose and a reason. Nothing in particular as far as music wise, but just his knowledge and him understanding that we have to own. You know, we have to own certain things as, you know, black individuals, you know, and living in America, that we have to own our stuff, because we can't keep what we don't own.
Okay.
You understand? Why this got to say Vox? Why can't it say Fisher?
Right.
That's good. That's good.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I just started really tuning into him, and then, you know, musically wise, just studying like Sam Cooke and his philosophy on, you know, certain things, and you know, Marvin Gaye, and, you know, just, you know, Prince, just the older cats. Like, I got an old soul, y'all know. So
Yes.
I'm like, all the new people is they just new. So I'm kind of like, you know, I'm kind of geared towards the old stuff, that, you know, just looking at documentaries, reading books, and just understanding, you know, who I am as a musician, and how I can be like one of the greats one day.
You know, it's ironic you say that. I was listening to Sam Cooke today, where we were just listening to. We were looking over for some strange. I guess why this is why. You know, I heard what you said, but I always like to. You know, I want to thank Vox Wave for giving me the opportunity to be here and to get started in this.
Yes.
And you know, I appreciate them, because they help a lot of people out in the community that may not have a voice anywhere else.
Yes.
And of course, it could be Fisher one day.
Yeah.
But I still have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? And just like you started where you started at, and one day you're going to be somewhere else, and we're going to look back and say, you know, he started right here at the Metro. Somebody's going to walk at the Metro and remember that's where you started at, right? And we thank God that Metro allowed you to do that, because I think a lot of people, you know, it all depends on how they deal with themselves.
Metro never allowed me to do anything. Nah, they... You know,
Did you talk to him? Did you ever have a conversation with them?
I always had trouble at the Metro.
Did you?
Yeah, no question.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah, so I mean, I run into this one police officer that kicked me out of the Metro numerous of times.
Okay.
But you know, I had to, like I said, I had to be ahead of the game. Like, how can I do this without being harassed?
That's good.
Without being saying I have to leave, or I can't do this here. So what I did was I took it to the street. You know, sometimes you got to break the rules because you know them. You know what I mean? I didn't need a permit to do what I do. You know what I mean? Now, you know, the past, you know, year or so, they was trying to pass a law on street performers or stuff like that. That was really, really big. And they were just trying to, like, those newcomers that was coming in.
Yes.
It was like, yo, you know, it's too loud, or, you know, why they got to be right here? Where's the zones at? Stuff like that. But
right.
Of course, they didn't understand the culture, and they didn't understand, you know, the very fact that, you know, we were here first. And, you know, you building apartment buildings over the most loudest part of the city, downtown, Chinatown at that. You know, where the Verizon Center is, where you got ambulance, you got, they just won, Capitals just won last year, you know, so they wasn't complaining about that.
Wow.
So, but they trying to knock what we was doing as street performers, and I wasn't really having it. So, you know, I was the one, you know, waking up in the meetings and stuff like that, just trying to make sure, you know, I held it down, you know, as a street performer, because, like I said, this was where I started, and I didn't want nobody else after me to be affected by that.
Well, it's good you have to be an advocate for other people.
Yes.
Because you paved the way for other people to do
Yes.
the same thing that you've done.
Oh, yeah.
And you want to kind of, the reason I asked that question because I want to kind of people to understand that there may be some challenges,
Yeah.
right, in what you're doing, but it's a proper way to go about the challenges. And that's what I want to give the audience, to let them see that there's a proper way to go about it. Even though you have a gift, you have a dream, you still have to go about it in a way that's not going to cause you so much distraction, right? And you can get out there and do what you need to do. We're going to go for a break right now, but give us a call at 240-719-2560 if you have any questions for Kenny Sway. I don't know if he's going to give us a little ballad tonight, but I know he's a recording artist now, so he may have to get some permission or let the people know. Let the people know that, he might want to do that. But nevertheless, we're going to go for a break and give us a call at 240-719-2560. See, because the reason
So this is dedicated to the one in the gray right here. every step of the way.
Welcome back to the Randell Fisher Show. You can feel free to call in at 240 if you have any questions, any comments. We have Kenny Sway here. He is an awesome recording artist. 240-719-2560. Kenny, since this is the season for some people to be happy, to be jolly, but also it's a season that some people experience depression. One thing I realize when I am following you, you do hospital visits.
I do.
And you sing and you encourage people. Mm-hmm. I believe there was a cancer patient, if I'm not mistaken, that you went to see. And I want you to talk a little bit about that. Not only do you keep giving, but you don't limit the audience that you give love to. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, so, I mean, with that situation, one of my friends I used to work with, he called me up around this time.
Okay.
And, you know, he was like, yo, bro, can you come sing a few songs for my mother? You know, she's just been down, and, you know, they had this other singer. They ain't really do the job. So I'm like, yeah, sure, man, just let me know, you know, when you want me to come. So we set it up, and she literally danced until she couldn't dance no more. And
wow.
in that process, she was battling, I think, stage 4 cancer, brain cancer, bone cancer. It was just so much that she was going through. And I just shed a little bit of my light on her so she can have, you know, so she can shine in the room. And, you know, one thing led to another. You know, in that moment, it's kind of we shared a relationship, and you know, she was just basically saying, "Oh, I love you so much," and you know, she was just really real excited. Let's fast forward, maybe, you know, the next month. You know, her health and everything began to start to decrease. And at that moment, I had to make another decision. What do I, you know, because we built this relationship, I couldn't do nothing but stay along the ride. And that's actually going to her, you know, her bedside, singing to her, you know, because I was only doing what I felt like she remembered the most, and that was my singing.
Awesome.
And, you know, even when she probably couldn't hear me, I was still there singing, you know, every single day, or every day that I had the time to do it. And February came around, and, you know, this was back in like November, December.
Yes.
And then you had January, then, you know, she passed away February of 2017 or 17. Yeah, I think it was 2017.
Okay.
And it was just at that moment, you know, like, you know, I really saw somebody just literally transition like that was a very powerful thing for me because
Okay.
I've never experienced anything like that.
Okay.
And, I yield to it,
That's a good word.
You
yielded to it. And what I hear also is that you're selfless.
Yeah, sometimes.
You operate in a way that you're always willing to give.
Yeah.
I know that you do events. I know that there's weddings that you do. You sing at weddings.
All the time.
You'll take a plane when the opportunity presents itself, and you will go and do different types of events. Name some of the things that you do again, and let the people know where they can find you and follow you.
Well, you guys can follow me at Kenny.Sway on Instagram and
Yes.
Kenny Sway on Facebook. Type in Kenny Sway on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and everything like that. And about the events, I do
Yes,
do
sir.
everything. Like
Yeah.
everything. Like even down to funerals. Like
I love it.
I do just about everything, and everybody knows what's up with me. So.
Yeah, I love you because you are not bound to spreading your love or where you channel your love to. I love it because you understand the power of love.
Oh, yeah.
And love has no color.
That was the first thing. That's the first thing. For God so loved
the world.
He said, God, he ain't say God so liked the world or he appreciated the world. He loved.
He loves the world.
He loved it, and that's the focus, and that's my focus, even when sharing my gift. And at this point in time in my career, it's really like my gift doesn't belong to me anymore.
Okay, that's good. I like it.
It don't belong to me no more because people. It's just like people need, like even on my way here, I did a 70s birthday party. They loved it. So it's like I knew this is something I wanted to do, so I have to embrace it and I have to yield to every situation. So
you said your gift is not for you. So even though you can enjoy what you hear that comes through you and you're humbled by it and you appreciate it, but you realize that it's really not about you.
No, not at all.
Can you touch on that a little?
It's not about me because I didn't ask for it.
Oh my goodness.
It was given to me to give to other people. I just know how to give it to other people.
You know how to give it to other people.
It's simple. Like, of course, God gives us certain things and tools to use for other people.
Yes.
You're not about to preach at empty seats.
Yes.
You understand? So
yes.
It's like, it's a reason why God gave you the gift of preaching. It's a reason why God gave me a gift of singing. It's a reason why God gave people gifts to play basketball, football, or anything that their gifts are, because people on the screen that's playing football, they're not playing for them. They're paying for the fans and the people that they, that's buying tickets.
So I have a question. So the more you grow in your gift, the more you realize how important it is.
Oh yeah.
And you realize how bigger it is than you. There's a bigger picture.
Oh yeah.
So while operating in it, and you see the growth, you see your own growth. Can you talk about your level of maturity while you were growing? Can you see yourself different from 3 years ago?
Oh, no question. Even with the last clip we just paid, you gotta put the two and two together from as far as growth wise.
Yes, sir.
As far as learning how to master certain areas with me singing and different octaves that I take or different notes that I hit. It's different from where I started when I was singing to Evelyn, but
that's good.
It was it was growth from singing to Evelyn to singing it to my own daughter. You know what I mean? Because at that time I didn't have a daughter.
Right.
But I was singing to a girl that I didn't know. But now the emotion changed because I'm now singing this same song that I sung to Evelyn to my actual daughter. So the feeling and the emotion, it changes. It shifts.
Wow.
Because now I meant it when I sung it to her,
yes.
but I really mean it yo, I will always love you to my daughter. I really, it's a different type of energy, different type of, power.
It's a different type of power. I like that. I was thinking too, you said master your gift.
Oh yeah.
So learn how did you learn how to master your gift? Did you go on YouTube and see how other people sing or how they hit certain notes? Did you take classes? Because we're talking about pursuing your dreams, and in order to pursue your dream, you need to sharpen your gift in the building process.
Yeah. Well, when I was sharpening my gift, it wasn't really no YouTube.
Go ahead.
I was literally relying on, CDs and stuff that we all used to have back in the day, like, the oldie but goodie CDs, and listening to singers.
Yeah. Professional singers.
Listening to the
real singers,
and be like, yo, dang, like, Brian, when I like that, I might can, sing that. And that's why, listening to like Eddie Kendricks or like how he hit songs and stuff, like, you got to understand, I started singing The Temptations at first grade.
Like, who does that, Kenny?
My point. So it's like, I had to really, that's how I was practicing. I didn't have no classes. I didn't have anybody sit me down like, yo, this is how you hit this note.
That's good.
This is how you do this. Like, no. Like, I had to learn everything on my own. And once I learned what I learned, I then took it and made it my own. So now when you hear a certain song I sing, and people always ask me all the time, hey, who sing that? I'm like, yo, Ed Sheeran sing that. They were like, yo, I would never known he sung that because the way you sing it.
The way you sing it.
Yeah.
You've taken ownership of it.
Oh, yeah.
So you sing it in the way you feel it.
Oh, yeah.
And it still captures the audience that you're singing to.
Most definitely.
I love your level of confidence when you sing, but there's something about the way you sing that's so soothing. Mm-hmm. And I heard you say earlier in our segment that singing for you is therapy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
and that's what it feels like when we're in your presence. It feels like therapy. It feels like, for me personally, it feels like my heart is being soothed. Like it's soft. And you're able to release any stress. That's what it feels like. You're able to release any stress. You're not thinking about what has transpired. You're not thinking about distractions. If you're angry or you're frustrated, or whatever you may be feeling that is negative and not positive, I really believe when people are in your presence and you begin to sing, and I've seen it, it feels like nothing else matters at that moment. Yo, when you sing.
I've had so many people
That's what I feel.
With teary eyes.
Nothing else matters. It's like, and I can only witness to what I have experienced personally. I forget about everything else, and I'm in that moment. When I'm listening to you, I'm literally in that moment. Yes.
Yeah, like twice when I think we were on the end, then we was in the middle one time. I ran into y'all like.
Yes. It's Branch Avenue subway station it's on the way home.
It's a joy of love that that releases out of me because I just really want to get this love out.
And then what I like is kind of funny because even at Branch Avenue subway station, I have left work. Leave out of that subway station. When I come up out of that subway station, I can hear your sound. I can hear your music. And I'm saying to myself, my goodness, do I stay here or go home? Do I stay here a little while? Do I make the phone call and let my husband know I'm going to be a little late? Because it's drawing. Yeah. Your music draws people. Your music makes people feel good.
Oh, yeah.
It makes people laugh, but it causes, and I also notice that it brings a unity.
Yeah.
That the people come together. You don't experience, and I have to touch it for a second, any racism in your presence when you sing.
Not at all.
There's no black and white issues. There's no different issues with nationalities. Who's next to me? Who's in front of me? Who's behind me? We are all one when we are in your presence, and God is singing or He's using your gift.
Yeah.
There is no division. That's what I feel.
No, because it's been times where I'll be singing, I have a crowd, and, after the end, it's like everybody be exchanging numbers.
See?
They be like, yo, shoot, what's your Facebook or what's your Instagram? Like, let's be cool. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's bringing people together.
Bringing people together.
And we have one common ground, and it feels like love.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I feel like when I'm in your presence and I'm in the crowd, it feels like anything else doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know who you are, but nice to meet you. There's a love connection. There's a love connection, and I'm so honored to know you. I'm so honored to know Kenny, but I'm honored to know Kenny Sway.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man behind the music, but also who you are now. And I'm glad that there's no limit in who you are. Meaning, I could know you as Kenny being on the praise team, but you are clearly more than that.
I was
You're
always,
clearly more than that.
more than that because I knew that I didn't want to be stagnant.
Yes.
I didn't want to be I didn't want.
You didn't want to be boxed in. I saw that when you were young. I think I've known you since you were 15.
Yeah.
15 or 16, around my daughter's age, because you all around the same age.
And then me and your daughter went to school together too.
Right.
So, yeah.
So there was no limit. I knew that there was more. When I would see you in a praise team, I knew that you were bigger than that. I knew that there was more to you than what we saw.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting to see when I'm in your presence, and even when you were young, who is this guy? Who is Kenny? Because he's more than what we see in the natural.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right on.
So we're listening to Kenny Sway tonight. Please give us a call at 240-719-2560 if you have any questions. We're going to take a break and just a short break, and when we come back, we're going to close out, and we're going to have Brother Kenny speak into that camera tonight and encourage somebody. And that's what he does. He's an encourager.
Yes. Yes.
That's the title, Kissing on the Moon.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the Randell Fisher Show. I'm your host, Randell Fisher, and before we left, we said we was going to have Brother Kenny speaking to the audience, but we found out something. He has a guest with him tonight, Sister Christina Jones, who's actually a recording artist. Yes. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just thank Brother Kenny for being on the show. Yes. We thank you for having you. Yes. I appreciate that. I saw you at the mall, and you reminded me how I dropped the bucket on. You were supposed to sing about, right? Yeah, I dropped the ball, but hopefully I made it.
Yeah, you got another year.
Yeah, you got another year, right? Hopefully I made up for it. So how are we going to end the show tonight? Miss Christina says she's going to do it a cappella for us, so I'm going to have her go ahead and sing to us tonight and end the show for us. So thank you for looking at the show tonight, and here's Miss Christina.
All right.
So in the spirit of Christmas and the true meaning of the holiday,
all right,
we're going to sing a song. So here we go. Mommies and daddies always believe that their little angels are special indeed, and you can grow up to be anything.
Okay. All right.
But who would imagine a king, a shepherd, a teacher is what you could be, or maybe a fisherman out on the sea, or maybe a carpenter building things. But who would imagine a king? It was so clear when the wise men arrived and the angels were singing your name, that the world would be different 'cause you were alive. That's why heaven stood still to proclaim. One day an angel said quietly that soon he would bring something special to me, and of all of the wonderful gifts he could bring, who would imagine? Who could imagine? Who would imagine a king?
So just finish that. How can we follow you?
So my Instagram is at Christina Jones Music, at sign Christina Jones Music, CHRISTINA JONES MUSIC, Christina Jones Music at gmail.com if you need to get to me, and www.ChristinaJonesMusic.com.
Awesome.
Wow, that was awesome. So thank you for tuning in to tonight. Yes. Until next week. Next week we're gonna be doing testimonies. Next week we're gonna be doing testimonies about addiction. So I want you to tune in. I'm going to give you my testimony of why I'm actually doing it through TV and radio. So tune in next week. And then on the 5th Sunday, we're going to have Dr. Loria McLeod on. Yes. And she's going to be talking about, she's an accountant. She's going to be talking about budgets. So until next week, God bless you and thank you so much.
Thank you.